Barry Neal again here, and in this video I want to show you one of the classic NLP techniques from the early days of NLP, and it's a great technique to help change client state, and it's a great technique for you to learn for yourself to be able to change your state very, very quickly, because as therapists quite often we're called to do things that sometimes we may not be comfortable with. Like some people may not be totally comfortable doing presentations, for example, or they might not be totally comfortable going in and doing cold calls to businesses trying to get new business. So this is something that you can use at any time. It's a great technique for working with sports people and performance type anxieties. So if you're working with golfers or boxers or any type of person, a sports technique, or athletes that need to be in a certain state to be able to perform at their best, this is a great technique to learn, and it's something that they can then do themselves when they're actually in that situation. So it's really, really powerful technique. It's something, if you teach your clients, they can then become resourceful at any time. It's also something, as I say, that you can use yourself. As therapists, sometimes we get in our head that there are certain types of clients that we find difficult to work with. You know, for me at some point, I had this idea that I could work with everybody except for old men. If I had an old man come in for whatever reason, I had this thing in my head that I had a problem with them. So as soon as I saw an old man come in, I thought, oh God. And what I did was I used this technique to change my response. Because if you studied NLP, one of the things you notice is that it's the state that drives the behavior. And quite often it's the state that also changes our beliefs and our values. A lot of times people look at hierarchies and they say that values are this level and beliefs are like this and state around here. But the reality is, if you change your state, if you're, for example, in NLP we have a thing where we elicit someone's values. Now, if you elicit someone's values on a day they're having a great day, you are going to get a totally different set of values than if you elicit those values on a day when they're having a really crappy day. So state is really important. So this technique allows you to change your state, which as a result will change your belief about capabilities, your values, all those sorts of things. So this is a really, really cool technique, and it's called the Circle of Excellence. So step one in the Circle of Excellence is you have to pick the ideal state. You want to identify the state of excellence. Now, what is a state of excellence? It could be a state of feeling totally loved. It could be a state of feeling exhilarated. It could be a state of persistence, tenacity, and resolve. It could be a state of feeling confident. It could be anything. It's got to be a really powerful state. This is no time for wishy-washy. Well, I'd like to be calm, I think. No, it's a time for really positive, powerful, motivational states. This is what this technique's designed for. So what you want to do is to find a really good state of excellence. So it could be something that's totally loved, it could be persistence, tenacity, resolve, it could be exhilaration, unstoppable confidence, anything like that. And that's what you want to be going for. So identify that state. So even as you're sitting there now, you might want to think about, what would I absolutely like to have? What state, if I could be any way that I could be, if I could feel anything that I wanted to feel, what would I really like to feel? What would I like to have on tap at any moment in time so that I could just snap into that state? What state would really help me right now? So begin to think about that. Step two is then you choose an anchor word. Now, an anchor word is basically a trigger. It's going to be the auditory trigger that's going to trigger the state. Now, it could be something like yes. It could be something like now. It could even be something like Geronimo. You know, if you're a Doctor Who fan, or particularly of the David Tennant years, it could be Alzi. Whatever it is, pick a word that's kind of unique, that when you say it with a certain tonality, really gets you into that feeling that you want to feel. So you want to pick a really powerful word that, as you just think about it, even triggers that state within you. So pick an anchor word. So again, it could be yes, or now, or Geronimo. Then step 3, and this is where the circle comes in. Imagine a circle on the floor in front of you. So imagine a circle on the floor in front of you, you know, about 3 foot wide, a meter wide, whatever you want. Imagine this big circle in front of you and pick a color. Whatever color that you pick is the right color for you. So if you think of, like, if your state is totally loved, and this pink color comes into your mind as you think about it, that's the perfect color for you. So pick the color that's right for you. Okay, so imagine this circle in front of you in this color. Yeah, okay. Step 4. Imagine an image of yourself, or if you struggle with that, a role model who you absolutely know has that state of excellence. S-O-E, state of excellence. So in that circle, what you want to do is to imagine yourself, or if you're struggling with that and you think, oh, I can't even imagine myself doing that, I'm sure there's someone you know who exhibits those states that you want. So in your mind's eye, imagine the circle there with your favorite color, and then see yourself in that state. See what you would see if you were totally in that state. Hear what you'd be hearing. What would you be saying to yourself if you were totally in that state? How would you be standing? How would you be breathing? And breathe how you'd be if you were totally in that state. So see that other you over there in that circle, in that state, and make that image maybe bigger, brighter. Turn up the colors, turn up the brightness, really intensify that image. And this is what you want to do with your clients, by the way. I'm not just doing it as I'm describing it. This is what you want to be doing. So you want to be, with all your non-verbals, increasing and multiplying that state. So tell them to make it bigger, make it brighter, really intensify that image. Really intensify. So as you look at it, you think, yeah, I want that. That's what I want. Really, this is, again, is another type of cheerleader pattern. You really want to get your clients, so as they look at that, that's what they want. They absolutely want that. So you really turn that up. Okay, so then you have them step into the circle and fully associate into that state. So you get them to fully associate with that. So you want to get them, you want to really get them on the edge. So they're almost like, oh, I really want to get in there. I really want to get in there. I really want to get in there. And then say, right, now step into that circle. Really get it motivated. Now step into that circle and feel those feelings. Really intensify it. Make them fully associate. As they're fully associating, step 6 is they say their anchor word. So as they step in and they breathe how they're breathing, they see what they'll be seeing, they say what themselves, say to whatever they're saying to themselves in that voice tonality, and then they go, yes, 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 and really get into that feeling. Then as you see that feeling really pumped up, just at the moment you think, as you calibrate to them, okay, it's slowly starting to come down, get them to step out of that circle, okay? So that the circle remains clean and it's the positive state that's in that, okay? So now you just get them to step out, and then you pump it up again. See that person there, get them even bigger, even bolder, double that intensity, make it really strong, pump it up. Then have them do it again. So step 7 is calibrate and step out. Then you've got to condition it in and amplify it. So you get them to, again, once they come out of it, go back into it, step in, bigger, bolder, brighter, whatever it is, really intensify it. Yes, yes, yes. Really get them pumped up, have them step out. Now what you want to be doing is you want to think about, okay, when and where do I want this? So it might be, okay, so I'm going to go to a public speech next week. Okay, now imagine yourself in that situation. You're just about to get up on stage and there's the podium there, and the podium is surrounded by this coloured circle, your favourite colour. As you step into that circle, bang, see what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel, say the word yes, yes, yes. Straight away, you're linking the two things together. So make sure you do this, condition it in. Then what you can have them do is you can say, okay, you can use this anytime you like. You know, you can use this if you're going out to, you know, if you're doing a sports event, you could do this if you're going out dating and you're not totally confident. Just imagine taking that circle, folding it up, putting it in your pocket. And then as you're going up to your sports event, like whatever it is, just imagine flipping that out and stepping into it and see what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel. Really get them to use it. So get them to condition this in. Again, one of the things that is often labelled an NLP is that people get the changes in the moment, but they don't stick. It's because you've got to condition them in. So make sure you get your clients to condition this in. Do it yourself. Condition it in. Do it over and over and over and over again. Make this a habit. You know, one of the interesting things, if you watch a lot of really good public speakers, they don't just turn up and assume that they're going to be really good. They don't assume that they're going to be really confident. Tony Robbins, for example, if you've watched the documentary of him, I'm Not Your Guru, you'll see him stand at the back of the stage and he goes through this routine where he pumps himself up and he says things like, everything I need is within me now and I have the courage to see it through. Everything I need is within me now and I have the courage to see it through. Everything I need is within me now and I have the courage to see it through. And then he steps into the circle and boom, he's there. So don't assume that just because when you see someone doing something and you think they're really good, that it just happens automatically. No, they get into the state. A classic example, and if you ever want to see the perfect example of anchoring in motion, watch the New Zealand All Blacks do the haka. That is the perfect example of how to get into a positive state and be totally resourceful. Because I don't know about you, I would not want to be playing rugby against those guys and standing there watching them when they do that haka. Because, oh jeez, I think I'm off now. Go and take up darts or something. So these sorts of things are really, really important. You don't just take these things lightly that, oh, I'm just going to be okay, I'll be in a good state. No, put yourself in a good state. Put yourself in a resourceful state whenever you need it. Go and be the person that you want to be by doing these things. Program your mind for success. Program your body for success. Program your neurology to act differently. So if there's any situation that comes up in your life where you think, oh, you know what, I'm not really sure I can do that, do this technique. Put that circle out in front of you, your favourite colour. See yourself in that state, whatever it is that you want to be, that state of excellence. Step in, condition it in with your keyword, do it, and then imagine yourself in the situation, link the two things together, and you'll be absolutely brilliant. So take this on board. This is a really, really powerful technique, and you have to use it, and you have to condition it in. The circle of excellence, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant technique. As I say, it's great for sports people, any type of performance anxiety. Really, really useful thing. It's such a good thing for sports people because it really gets them going. So if you ever work with teams or whatever, get them doing this. It's brilliant. So there you go. Another great technique from NLP. If you have any questions, if you want to get in contact, you can contact me on the website or through YouTube or my Facebook channel. and I'll see you soon.